It started with whispers, not screams, not headlines, just quiet conversations passed from one person to another. In a city like Kampala, busy, vibrant, always moving, it's easy for things to go unnoticed. Cars fill the streets, markets overflow with life. People chase dreams, opportunities, survival. And in all that noise, something dark was beginning to grow. At first, it didn't seem connected. A missing woman here, another one there. Someone's sister didn't come home. A friend stopped answering calls. A daughter simply vanished. People were concerned, but not alarmed. Because in a large city, disappearances don't always mean something sinister. Sometimes people leave. Sometimes they start over. Or at least, that's what everyone hoped. But then, everything changed. Bodies started to appear, not in crowded places, not where anyone could easily find them, but in swamps, in quiet, isolated areas, far from the city's heartbeat, places where silence lingers, places where secrets are buried. The bodies told a story no one wanted to hear. These women hadn't just disappeared, they had been killed, and not randomly. There was something disturbingly consistent. Most of them were young women. Many of them had routines, jobs, dreams, plans for the future, all of it cut short. And then came the detail that made everything even more chilling. A piece of cloth, tied tightly around the neck. Not an accident, not chaos. This was deliberate, calculated, and suddenly, Kampala changed. It was no longer just a city. It became a place where fear lived, where danger didn't announce itself. It waited, watched, and struck quietly. People began asking questions. Who was doing this? Why women? And how was this happening? Again and again, without being stopped, fear spread fast, faster than the truth. Women across the city began to adjust their lives overnight. Late night outings stopped. Rides became suspicious. Even familiar faces were no longer fully trusted. Because when fear enters a city, it doesn't knock. It takes over. Every quiet street felt different. Every shadow seemed deeper. Every unknown number calling your phone felt like a potential threat. And then came the rumors. Some believed it was a serial killer. One person, moving carefully, blending in, watching from a distance, choosing victims, and leaving no clear trace. Others believed something even more terrifying, that it wasn't just one person, but a group, organized, coordinated, working together. The uncertainty made everything worse, because when you don't know what you're facing, you start fearing everything. Families were left shattered, mothers who couldn't sleep, sisters searching for answers, friends replaying the last conversations they had, wondering if there was something they missed, something they could have done differently. But there was nothing, just silence and grief. Communities began to speak up, louder and louder. People demanded answers. Protests began to form. Online discussions grew. Voices echoed across the city. Who is responsible? Why is this happening? Who will stop it? Authorities responded. Investigations were launched. Police increased patrols. Checkpoints appeared. Suspects were identified. And for a moment, it felt like something was finally being done. Arrests were made. Names were mentioned. Stories started to come together. But then, the narrative began to shift. Because the deeper investigators looked, the more complicated it became. The evidence didn't point in just one direction. Different suspects, different connections, different possibilities. And that raised a chilling question. What if this wasn't just one person? What if multiple people were involved? Or worse, what if some of the crimes were being copied? The idea that more than one individual could be responsible sent a deeper wave of fear through Kampala. Because how do you protect yourself when the danger has no single face? As we spaced, the city lived in tension. Not panic, but something quieter, heavier. People became more alert, more cautious, more aware of their surroundings than ever before. Parents warned their daughters constantly, "Call me when you arrive. Don't go out alone. Be careful who you trust." Friends checked in on each other more often. Locations were shared, plans were double-checked, and nighttime was no longer something to enjoy. It became something to avoid. The city had changed. Even when the streets looked the same, they didn't feel the same. Investigations continued. More arrests were announced. More updates were given. But clarity remained just out of reach. Some cases seemed solved, others didn't. Some families got answers, many didn't. And that's what made this story different. It didn't end cleanly. It didn't give people the comfort of a clear resolution. Instead, it left behind questions, lingering ones, the kind that stay with you. Because sometimes, the most unsettling stories aren't the ones with dramatic endings. They're the ones that fade without full closure. The Kampala Women Murders became more than a series of crimes. They became a symbol of vulnerability, of how quickly safety can disappear, of how a normal day can turn into something unimaginable. And even today, the memory still lingers in conversations, in caution, in the quiet awareness people carry with them. Because the truth is, danger doesn't always arrive loudly. It doesn't always warn you. Sometimes it moves silently, unseen, unnoticed, until it's too late. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more True Crime African stories. Also click the notification bell so that you get notified when we upload a new story.